welcome to the Backseat Thriver podcast. I'm Christina Johnston.
And I'm Bridget Kosas.
And we really think you guys should listen because we think we're pretty funny.
We are pretty funny.
Yeah.
We're unfiltered. It's real. It's sometimes what you need to hear.
Sometimes what you don't.
But tune in.
Tune in. That was good.
That works.
Welcome to the Backseat Thriver podcast.
Good morning.
Good morning.
What?
Are we even podcast hosts anymore?
Are we podcasters still?
Yeah. If you all haven't noticed, we've been MIA for about couple of months. We stuck to the school schedule this year. So, we had a little summer break ourselves.
Little summer vacation.
Little summer vacay. But man, it feels so fun and exciting to be back sitting with you and sitting in here.
I know, right?
We haven't even seen each other in months.
It's been, okay, so you haven't heard from us in months. We haven't seen each other since May.
Since May, like mid-May.
Like we even took a vacation.
Yeah.
It feels weird to say that.
It does.
It does.
It does.
Like this is our first day back.
I know.
What?
It feels like we should be sitting here saying, welcome to season 3. But frankly, I don't even know where we are.
Maybe it is. Maybe it's season 3.
Let's just proclaim, welcome to season 3. It feels like it. And then people will think that we're more legit than we are.
Oh,
because,
we're legit.
Season 3, ain't nobody just getting to season 3.
Right?
Right.
They love us.
They do.
LTD Media, thank you. Thank you for bringing us back.
Oh my gosh.
How was your summer?
Oh my gosh. It was so fantastic. This is the first summer where I was not working. And so it was a big change for sure.
What'd you do? Like hang out by the pool all day?
Oh gosh, wouldn't that have been nice? We were talking about this.
Come on, you're a stay-at-home mom. Don't you just relax and eat bonbons?
What is people saying bonbons on the couch? I don't get it.
It's the thing.
It's the thing.
Like
I've heard that many times.
Do you even know what a bonbon is?
Yeah, like a little chocolate.
Like the little ice cream.
Oh,
little
yeah.
bonbon ice cream.
Well, I'd like to hit some bonbons. That sounds great. But no,
I will fill this chair in if I
Yes.
sit on my butt and eat
Yeah.
bonbons all summer.
But as any parent who stays at home knows, staying at home is way harder than going to work. And then when your kids are home all summer, you're like, I don't even get that time during the day where it's quiet and I can clean up in peace.
You're just constantly cleaning.
Yes.
You're just constantly cleaning. I remember so we had, I want to say probably 5-6 years. It's got to be longer than that. I've been working from home. So I was cool. I was a trendsetter. I worked from home before COVID.
Before COVID.
Yeah, I did. Like I knew this world, but I worked from home. And so during the summer, once I started working from home during the summer, the kids would all be home.
Uh-huh.
And
oh gosh, how do you do that?
And at that time, we had the four kids were home, and my workspace was in like the like we call it the fireplace room, which is the room right off the kitchen. So I'm sitting there trying to have meetings, and like one of the kids making a smoothie in the NutriBullet, and it's like, and I'm like, what are you doing? Or they're letting the timer just continue to go off because they were baking something, or they have, I'm in the middle of talking and they're hitting the ice machine.
Oh,
it's like
yes.
all this noise. And what I realized, it's like every 15 minutes, somebody was in the kitchen.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, what? Like, it's just boredom eating. Like, what can I snack on now?
Mm-hmm.
What can I snack on now?
Mm-hmm.
And then it got to the point where like our pantry started squeaking. So every time, and it was like, so we have a candy drawer, and on the side with the candy drawer, it'd be like, are you guys getting candy again? No. Okay, well, that's the pantry that only squeaks because it has candy and chips in it. Nobody needs to be in that right now. What are you doing?
It's 8:30 in the morning.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Yeah.
kids, summer.
Yep. All the things. And now, I mean, of course it's flown by, and we're already, I mean, there's a lot of kids
School
here that have
starts
already
Monday.
started.
Well, doesn't like
All
Foothills
the
and
big ones
GUSD?
start next week. Yeah. So
Okay.
my kids start Wednesday and Thursday.
And then I think Foothills starts Monday. I think
Okay.
TUSD starts Monday too, somewhere. Or
Back at it.
yeah,
So,
that's crazy.
you know, and
Are you ready?
Well, I think that we're ready. So I've got a boy going into middle school. So that has been very angsty in our house. He has been very nervous for months. And so we had orientation the other day and he got his badge. And I don't know if you remember this, but I remember the first day of work at the hospital when I got my badge, there was such a high of that. Like something felt so official. Something felt so just legit about, it's all right, I got a badge that's going to swipe me into things. And so he gets his badge and
Because this is his first ID.
his
for school,
first ID
right?
ever.
Yeah.
With his picture on it. So he's wearing a hat. And I'm like, you can't wear a hat in your picture. They're going to have you take it off. So he finally takes it off. He's got a giant crease across his forehead. And he saw it and he goes, shit. And I looked at him and I was like, what did you like? I'm like, where did this even come from? Yes. I'm
He's
like,
a middle schooler.
you
He's
think that you can
cussing.
say that because you have a crease in your head? I was like, we will discuss this later. So he gets his picture and he picks up his badge and he goes, Mom, I actually look pretty good in my picture. I'm like, you look so old. I don't like it. But we walked his route 3 different times. And then he's like, okay, let's do it one more time. And then you can time me and I can see how much time I have because he thinks that, you know, the 4 minutes that he has to walk 15 feet is just not going to be enough. And so,
Do they have lockers?
No, they don't get lockers.
But they have lockers on campus, right?
I'm not even sure that they do. I didn't see any.
So my kiddos, when they were in middle school, they had all these lockers that were still on campus, but nobody could use them.
Oh.
Like none of the kids were allowed to use lockers. Yeah. Hide their contraband.
Yeah, right.
Those,
We're getting
those
in
middle,
there.
Those middle schoolers.
Yeah.
So he's ready.
So he's ready. He is ready. The girls, I think they're ready to be
Do you
back.
have a senior this year?
A senior and a junior. I know. That's
All
going to be
right.
wild. And do you have a senior?
No.
You're going to have a new freshman, like senior to freshman.
I know. The baby is starting college
Oh my gosh.
in August.
So your back to school supply list looked a little different than mine. It wasn't like glue sticks and colored pencils and glitter.
I don't know. No, it's still glue sticks and colored pencils. No, it's crazy because we have, we're slowly gathering all his stuff together. And it's like sheets and towels and cleaning supplies and comforter and like
Microwave mac and cheese.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah. Oh, you got to stock the dorm
we
up
need to
with
get the
that.
gluten-free one because the guy's got SIBO. So, yeah.
Oh my gosh. This is going to be something fun to talk about. Now, you know this, but I have been having stomach issues for a while. In fact, the last time that you and I saw each other months ago, I had to leave early because I had the worst stomach ache.
Can I tell the story?
All right, go ahead.
So Christina and I are at happy hour. And
It was for your birthday.
It was for my birthday. We were at happy hour and we had some chips, we had some tacos, and we had, just all the fun stuff at Blanco's. And I think the only item there that would have been gluten or dairy was the queso.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's kind of a big deal in Mexican food. All right. So, and she's like, "Oh, I didn't have too much. I didn't have too much." And she's like buckled over, can't breathe, her stomach is exploding. And this girl stands up and drops her pants like halfway down in the middle of the restaurant. And I was like, "Oh my God, you look like a homeless lady."
Yes.
Stop.
Yes.
What are you doing?
Now,
What is
when you say
happening?
drop my pants, like I don't want anyone to get the wrong idea, right? Like
You weren't showing butt
I
crack.
had to unbutton them because my stomach was went out 7 inches.
You like Christina Aguilera it and brought it down to like the pubic bone area, and
it
we're
was
showing
so
just
painful,
just belly. You know how you
I looked 8 months pregnant.
But you know the homeless ladies on the corner that have like the little half shirts?
Yes.
And the pants that are swoopy?
Yes.
That's what you
That's
looked
what I
like.
looked
That
like.
was like, pull your pants up. We're sitting at the bar. You're
couldn't.
looking homeless. You're
Yeah.
like, I can't. This hurts.
It hurts so bad. And then I was like, I got to go. And I like hobbled to my car.
So speaking of stomach aches.
Yeah. Okay. So then I got diagnosed with celiac disease. So no gluten. So, you're going to, now my little sister has celiac. So she's been my resource. I'm like texting her random stuff. Like, does this have gluten in it? And it's like, it's stressful.
Isn't there an app out there that's like, this has gluten?
I'm
like
sure.
You scan it. This has gluten.
Yeah.
If it's not a vegetable or a fruit, it has gluten.
Isn't that true?
If you didn't make it yourself, it has gluten.
It has gluten.
Yeah, seriously.
Man, it's a lot of work. Well, I will have to learn from you and your son's journey as well.
So speaking of gluten and celiac, make sure these back to school snacks are safe for everybody.
Yes, no kidding.
We got out of that. Like we had just our kids had just transitioned out of that. Like that scare where everything has to be store-bought and it can't have any allergens, no peanuts, no gluten.
What an annoying time to be alive.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
I'm not interested.
What can you eat? Everybody just eats Rice Krispie treats.
Yeah.
And carrots.
I mean, I don't hate Rice Krispie treats or carrots.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's pretty boring.
Kids in school like Rice Krispie treats.
Yeah, but it was not like that. We could bring in whatever we wanted when we were little.
Anything.
Yeah.
Nobody had a peanut allergy.
Those were the good old days.
There was the one kid that sat at the table because they had a peanut allergy. Like in the whole school, there was like only one of them.
Sorry, loser, to the corner. Yeah.
That kid eats with the teacher every day.
Oh, bless that kid.
Bless that
kid.
I'm telling you.
So because we're, jumping into the school stuff, so we're going to be talking a little bit today about how we cope with some of the back to school anxiety, with navigating friendships, with managing sports and extracurriculars, and just general kind of how do you take care of yourself and how do parents take care of ourselves? Because what a shit show life is about to be for, in the next couple of weeks. And just, I always felt so bad on the first day of school, dropping kids off. And, you see those parents that are like barely making it before the bell, shoving their kids out of the car. Everybody's crying. It's just, this is a rough time.
We all have good intentions. Like, all right, how, did you start putting, having your kids go to bed earlier the last 2 weeks?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, good
absolutely.
Job.
Like,
good job.
I'm like 8 o'clock, start reading, get in bed.
A lot of us remembered today. School starts on Monday. Oh,
right.
Shoot,
oh yeah, you can't stay
up till midnight.
Yes.
Oh, my bad.
Oh my gosh.
I remember it's just as anxiety ridden for parents as it is for their kids.
It is. And I think that's one of the hardest parts is that the parents need to be the ones modeling the calmness and the collectiveness. And how do you do that?
How are you doing with that one?
Oh my gosh. A lot of screaming, a lot of throwing granola bars.
What's happening?
Uh-huh.
I remember there was a time, and it was when my oldest was like 8 or 9, and we got halfway to school. He's like, "Mom?" Yeah. I was like, "Are you okay?" Because it was like this, "Mom?"
The panic.
The panic in the back seat. And I was like, "Yeah, what's up, buddy?" "I forgot my shoes." It was one of those moments where you're like, do I freak out or do I just take a deep breath and be like, it's all good. We'll stop. I was like, okay.
What did you do?
I stopped at Walgreens. Walgreens was the only place that was open. I mean, and
you couldn't turn around.
I couldn't. So I was living like Midtown, like Grant and Alvernon area, and he was going to school way far east side at Broadway and Houghton.
You're like, no.
And I was already at Pantano. Kohl's hasn't opened yet.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, I don't know where to get you shoes. Let's go to Walgreens. And he was like, yeah, but they're not cool shoes. And I was like, really? You're worried about cool shoes right now?
So did you get them like neon flip-flops or what did they have?
No, like they have like they're usually like
Were they Velcro sneakers?
Yeah, they're like orthotic looking.
You
like,
did not. You got those.
I did. Like, what do you do?
I would have put them in flip-flops.
No, like I was, it was one of those moments where I've got to drop the kids off. I have a meeting at work. There's nothing
You're like,
I
this
could
is
do.
it. This is your option. So he went to
option.
school in Velcros.
He forgot his shoes one more time over like, I want to say it was probably within the 2 years he forgot them. But that time it was like late start. So we were able to stop by Kohl's and he was like, this kind of worked out. I got new shoes. I was like, you turd.
Bridget, I know you have very smart kids, but how? How do you forget? How do you walk out of the house and get in the car and 20 minutes later be like, I forgot my shoes?
So even back then, like I didn't allow shoes in the house.
Oh.
Because I hate, like I like to walk around bare. I hate germs.
Yeah.
The end.
The end.
That's what I should have been.
Yeah.
I like walking around barefoot and I don't like things sticking to the bottom of my feet.
Mm-hmm.
Like you probably don't have that problem. You've got like
Why
chips
would
and
you
crumbs
say
and like little rocks in between your toes.
I don't know if I should be offended or honest with
Just laugh
myself.
with
Like,
it.
well, yeah, it's true, but rude.
Bottom of your feet are like dirty.
What happened?
I didn't walk outside. Ooh, my bad.
I really wish that shoeless houses were more accepted because it feels, something I just need to get over. But I tried to start that and the kids were like, I'm not going to ask my friends to take their shoes off when they come over. I'm like, why not?
Then you don't invite your friends
They're
over.
like, it's embarrassing. Well, yeah, I'm like, I don't think either of you have ever had a friend over. Apparently, we're not the cool house that people want to hang out at. So
no, I was just like, hey, if your friends are coming over, make sure they take their shoes off.
Okay.
And they're like, okay, do you make your friends take their shoes off? I was like, do you clean the house? No. Touche.
Touche.
No.
I like that.
Like when you come over to my house, you don't take your shoes off.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
I absolutely do because I know what a freak you are.
Oh, yeah, you probably do.
Yeah. Oh, for sure I do.
All right, Mom doesn't. Mom doesn't take her shoes off.
What the hell, Mom?
Yeah. No, Mom keeps her shoes on all the time. Like even in like the swimming pool.
Oh,
like, Mom just doesn't take her shoes off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Even in the swimming pool.
Mom's swimming with her.
Well, now I
Hokas.
want to see what she's got on. What's she hiding? What are you hiding?
Mom, it's all good. Keep
All
your
right.
shoes on. We're good.
Bridget's mom, could you call in and let us know what's going on in there? Do we need to take you for a pedi or something? Or,
She loves pedicures. and
I do
mani,
too.
yeah.
Who doesn't?
Who doesn't? Yeah.
Okay, Bridget, let's jump into this. So, have your kids experienced anxiety with going back to school?
Yeah. Yeah, it was funny. We were talking to my son and his girlfriend, and I was like, tell me you're back to school. Like, were you excited? And she was like, I loved going back to school. It was amazing. My favorite thing is making new friends. And my son just looked at her and he was just like, ew. He was like, that was the worst part.
I agree. I feel like that's most kids are like making new friends is not at the top of their list.
That was the worst part. It was, I think their anxiety, and it was more the boys than it was our daughter, because her, like, my son's girlfriend was, I love making new friends. I love being, she's our social butterfly, where the guys were like, no. And it's funny because my son's roommate in college is his best buddy from preschool. Like, he's got his core 4 and that's it. That's all I need for the rest of my life. Like, I don't need to make friends with anybody else. I'm good to go. So that was a big part of it. And for them, it was the readiness, like getting them prepared. And I knew that if we were last minute Lucy's and just getting everything the weekend before, they couldn't process the things that they needed and get it organized and check it once, check it twice. And I mean, and every kid's a little bit different, but it's okay, I think I have everything now. Okay, I know where everything's at. Okay, I'm going to put my backpack on and I'm going to take it off and know exactly where my pencils are.
And see, that is so important in theory, but then, and this is one of the things that I really want to commit to help my kids with this is the organization part. But personally, that's where I struggle the most because I'm a disorganized mess the majority of the time. I never know where stuff is. And how do I expect my kid to? And then I get pissed off when he can't find any of his stuff. When I'm like, well, I don't know where my stuff is either, but you should be doing better than me.
Yeah.
So I love that you said that. So one of the tips that we have in easing this anxiety of back to school is practicing your routines early. And so exactly what you said, like what, and setting those expectations of this is what time we wake up, this is how much time you need. And of course, best laid plans, right? It's not always going to happen like that, but getting in the habit of practicing that. And every single day when you come home, your backpack goes here, your lunchbox goes here, and your I'm so nervous for this ID badge. This is a whole new world.
In their backpack.
However, his school, and I love this, I'd never heard of it. Bridget, you say it just goes in his backpack like it's no big. It's going to be like tied around his butt cheeks or something. Like I don't know where he will find anywhere else to put it except for his backpack. But now I forgot what I was going to say because I went off on the tinge.
You said butt cheeks and you made yourself laugh on that one.
I did. That was funny. I just picture his little butt cheeks.
But the organization.
Yes, just of doing it every single time and keeping it consistent. And I want so badly to do that. And I guess now I'm sitting here like, is this just become self-help? How do I do it?
It sounds incredibly militant. Nice try, Mom. Nice try.
Yeah, we'll get there.
I think that it's we have these grand ideas of where it should be, but where do they want it to be in order for them to remember?
Yeah.
And this is something that I learned later on. And, we're all guilty of doing it for them, and they will get in the best routines if they do it themselves. And they're part of that decision of where do you want to put it? Like where are you going to put it to where you can remember? Where do you need to put this in order to make sure that, this is your routine moving forward? And that will help them be more organized because they know where it needs to go. They're the ones that put it there. This is where I want my things in order to, to help me start my day.
I bet you're good at that.
I am good at it.
I'm not. Oh, I remember what I was going to say. If they don't bring their ID badge to school, they have to do trash pickup during lunch. I think that's brilliant.
That is good.
I love that.
And then can they wear like cool lanyards or do they have to be
I'm sure they could swap it out for whatever they want. That's going
to be like so cool.
So cool. So, okay. So we're going to practice routines early. So one of the things that I got one of these big, you guys, it's called a skylight. It is the coolest thing, not to be confused with what's in your roof. It's a big electronic calendar. And so I get text messages or emails or whatever. I can screenshot and I just forward the screenshot, the email, the text message, whatever it is, to this certain address, and it populates onto this calendar. It takes all the information out of it. I have it all color coded. That is awesome. So
that is pretty cool.
It's really cool. So having a visual, and especially my unit needs visual. So I'm like, get in the habit of every single day, check the board. It has chores. It has grocery lists, all the things that you need. And again, each kid has their own color. So when they see that pop up on the day, they know that they need to be looking at that.
And if you're not that organized, a shared Google Calendar with your family.
There you go.
Is also good. So we didn't have this skylight when we were raising our 4 kids.
Back in the 80s?
Back in the old days.
I mean,
so what we did is very similar is we color coded each one of the kids. Like this one, the oldest one gets red, the youngest one gets blue, color code your
Is that
child.
What that means?
Yes, that's what it meant. You're a jerk. So we had it, and it's, their specific event for that child is in this color. And then we had it, and it was shared with the kids so that they could see, all right, these are my events, these are my days. And if you're like us and you have joint custody, these are the days that you're with mom. These are the days that you're with dad, so that they can let, like, oh, you got all the information, but you're at dad's on that day. make sure you share this, screenshot it and share it with your dad because you're going to be over there and he's going to need to take you.
Yep.
So like you said, color coding your calendar, a G calendar, even if you have, a paper calendar for everybody to share and write their tasks and events on, or what's the one you have? What's it called?
Oh, a skylight.
Skylight.
Yeah.
That
It's so cool.
That thing's slick.
It's so cool.
Mhm.
Okay, so the next tip that we have, so we've got the practice routines early, a visual schedule. We hit on this a minute ago. Stay calm yourself. I cannot tell you how crazy it is when I am stressed and nuts and I see my kid act the same way. And it's like, if we can model the staying calm, if my kid was like, "Oh, Mom, I forgot my shoes," I'm not sure I'd be as calm as you were.
Yep.
I might have, put a little duct tape on his feet and been like, "See ya, there you go, have a good day." After
Let's see if we can find any shoes in Lost and Found.
Right.
Hopefully they're in your size.
But man, isn't that important when we can just help our kids? And I know we have all had those mornings where the things that come out of my mouth sometimes I regret and like, oh, why did I just have to make that more stressful for him? He already knows he screwed up and forgot his lunchbox and his homework. I don't need to remind him of that. But especially parents this first week, try to be nice to yourselves because it's going to be a zoo.
You got to fake yourself out. You need a built-in buffer time. So one of the things that my husband did is he set all the clocks back during school 10 minutes.
Oh.
And we built in buffer time. So as the kids are going around and looking at their time and, wait, oh my gosh, I thought it was this time. We got to hurry.
Mm-hmm.
And it becomes like, oh no, we're actually 10 minutes ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
Build in that buffer time for you, one, for your kids. If you know that you are a snooze button kind of person, make sure that that you are setting your alarm.
Set yourself up for success.
You have to.
Yeah.
You have to.
Man, the time buffer, that's a rough one. Okay, and the last one we have for the anxiety piece of it. This is very new age. We were not raised like this, but validating your kids' feelings. That sounds so funny when I validate your children. Now, personally, a lot of times when my kid will say something like, "Oh, I'm so nervous," I'm like, "Don't be nervous. You're going to be fine." Like I'm constantly fixing it or explaining away why he doesn't need to be nervous instead of being like, "Man, that is kind of a big deal that you're going to a brand new school and you're switching classes every hour instead of sitting in the same one. That must be so stressful." Now, here's how we're gonna fix it. Are you a good validator of your?
I love that.
I just explain it all away.
I think, honestly, growing up, I was very much you don't have to be nervous. It's going to be great. I think I was that parent.
Yeah.
I definitely was.
And that feels like the right thing to do.
It so does.
But you're really supposed to be validating your kids' feelings.
Easier said than done.
It is.
Be a sounding board, not a fixer. I think that is like you said, you need to let them vent.
Mm-hmm.
You need to let them share their fears, share their excitement, and don't jump in and try and fix it.
Yep.
You can't.
You can't. Like my kid was trying to get a hotspot password yesterday, and I was like, "Hey, buddy, if you can't spell the word I just said, guess you can't get the password." My husband's looking at me like, "Are you really not going to give it to him?" I'm like, "Look, I said the word 5 times. He's got to figure it out." All right, Bridget, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we are going to be talking about the intricacies of friendships. And I know, talk about drama. So we're going to share a few little tips and tricks on friendship drama and how do we support our kids through this? Because man, they're going, elementary school is huge. They're all huge. All these friendships, it's the biggest thing in these kids' lives in school. And when those go sideways, it can really break our kids. So
it can.
Right. I don't know how you and I have lasted so long. So maybe we'll impart some of our own wisdom there.
I'm excited to hear what you have to say.
All right, good. All right, quick break, and then we'll be right back.
On Backseat Thriver, we dive into the messy, meaningful moments of life, especially parenting and mental health, because raising kids today takes more than love. It takes support, insight, and sometimes a little help. That's where LNC Therapy makes a difference. A compassionate mental health private practice proudly serving the Tucson community. They specialize in supporting children, teens, and young adults through challenges like depression, anxiety, ADHD, anger management, grief, and more. With a team of experienced, heart-forward therapists, LNC Therapy offers personalized care that meets your family where they are, whether that's in person or via telehealth. Because every young mind deserves a safe space to grow. LNC Therapy, supporting Tucson families one session at a time. Visit them at 7493 North Oracle Road, Suite 135. Or reach out and visit them on their website at hello@lndtherapy.com. Now accepting new clients.
Okay, we're back. Okay, so we're talking a little bit about friendships right now. Do you have friends?
I don't.
Okay.
They're a lot of work.
Haven't quite figured it out yet.
Just on Fridays. Just on Friday mornings.
You have a Friday friend?
I have a Friday friend.
Oh, I like that.
All my listeners are my friends. All our listeners. Besties. Hello, see it here first.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a good friend, but I am not a good friend because I don't have time.
Yeah.
Like, you know, raising 4 kids, 5 sports during the school year, 4 club sports. Like my friends were all of the parents of their teammates.
Mm-hmm.
Our vacations were wherever their tournaments were.
Yeah.
And outside of that, I was like, I don't have the energy.
Yeah.
I don't have the energy.
Yeah. It's hard.
It is hard.
Yeah.
And I was very intentional in not having a lot of friends. Like it's too much work, and it's not
intentional.
I was intentional, but it is like having friends and giving that time to others. I know that's my time too, but I'm like, well, shit, I just want a long bath,
right?
And I just want to Netflix and chill. And don't want to hear anything. And I want to eat my popcorn in bed and be done with it. And my friends are whoever's on TV.
That's so sweet and pathetic.
I know.
I love it.
It is.
I love it. Yeah, it is tricky. But, you know, they become, from everything I've heard, middle school is when the kids really start getting in those friendship groups and starting to pull away from their parents and family a little bit more. And friendships become sort of the focal point of their lives.
I think it's different though. I think this generation is different because of social media.
Yeah, that's true.
And because of these things, these phones in our hands, you know, they don't have as many close friends as we did growing up. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, I don't know if you had close friends growing up, but I had a lot of friends.
I didn't really. When I was in elementary school.
That doesn't surprise me. Just kidding.
It doesn't, you know, I really didn't. Like, I remember eating lunch alone a lot or hiding in the bathroom.
Tell us your trauma, Christina. Tell us your trauma.
Or like.
You hid in the bathroom?
Yeah, I would get like really uncomfortable.
Okay, we're going to 180 this podcast. Now I need to hear about this.
No, what? I mean, I don't feel like I had a lot of friends in elementary school. Like maybe a couple. I remember having one best friend, but she was sick so often that it would be like weeks. And I would call her in the morning and be like, are you coming to school today? You know, on the dial phone.
Oh, yeah.
And she'd be like, no. And I'd be like, ugh. So I'd pretend that I wanted to hang out with teachers.
Getting in trouble so you can stay in for detention.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe that's...
No, I think elementary, you know, because you are in one class, you usually have like 1 or 2 friends. Mm-hmm. And then when you get to middle school, because you're now, you know, 6 or 8 different classes, everybody,
Got a couple
you're not
friends in
moving.
each.
Yeah, you're not moving with everybody. And then you're either, lunch A or lunch B because not everybody gets the same lunch time. But I think normalizing the changing of friendships is a discussion we didn't have until later.
Yeah.
And, you're going to outgrow people. You're going to have different likes. You're going to start, being interested in sports
or
and
girls or computers.
Exactly. And like the boys had like one or two friends, but they had 10 friends on their video game.
But then you merge your friend groups too. And that's like the first time in middle school. If, I just remember thinking, oh my gosh, I played soccer with these people or whatever. And all the groups come together. And then that's sort of a funny thing where you're like, okay, well, I'm really good friends with you and really good friends with you. I mean, not me personally, but someone, right? And then it's like, well, how do we all be friends together? And then there's always the cliques within the cliques of the people who were close before the group merged, and maybe they don't like the other two people. And then it just becomes so much work and so much drama.
It does. It does. And they have their club friends and their school friends and then their family friends. So they have all these. And it became, I want to say, more so during that like 7th, 8th grade and early on in high school, they had a lot of acquaintances, but not a ton of really close friends because they were just so busy. And their weekends, we were always traveling for sports, so their friends were, whoever was on their team that year. Yeah. And that's who they spent their nights with because they were at practices. That's who they spent their weekends with because we were at tournaments and games.
But man, it becomes so important, especially now. I mean, it's always important, but really paying attention to who your kids are hanging out with and spending their time with. And not even just the kid, the parents. And I think that's almost the trickier part. I mean, I remember my kid going to a friend's house and I thought everything seemed normal and nice. And he comes home and like, oh, what'd you do? And he's like, oh, well, so-and-so's dad just played Call of Duty the whole time. And so we just sat next to him and watched. And I'm like, what? You're 7, like, and then you're like, okay, well, you're never going to that friend's house again. And it's like, you have to explain without being like, well, my parents think your parents suck, so I'm not allowed to hang out with you anymore. But it's true. I mean, you don't know what your kids are getting into. And I mean, don't even get me started on high school. Some of the stuff that we did, I'm like, I cannot believe your parents just leave you home alone for 5 days. You don't even drive.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. Like that part is nuts.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the things I want to ask you about, and I think this, it would have been so helpful for me at a younger age. But so one of the ways that we're supposed to navigate friendships and help our kids do that is to sort of role play some of the, like, how do you introduce yourself when you're in a brand new setting and these are all the kids that you don't know?
Sup, bitch? My name's Bridget. That's how you do it. You want to be my friend? No? All right. Sup? That's how you do it.
Oh, that caught me off guard. That was good.
You're welcome.
Well, okay, so you just hit the next point of handling rejection. How do we teach our kids about rejection and that just because some boy or girl didn't want to be your friend, how do you not make that your life story of I'm unlovable and okay, we're getting a little too deep here.
Here's that trauma coming out again.
How do we teach our kids that rejection's okay? Like, not everyone's going to like you, and you're not going to like everyone, and that is a real life lesson through adulthood as well.
So I don't know if they heard during our commercial break, but we have therapists.
Yes. So call them. Call
them. Ask them how to manage peer pressure and mental health because I'm not the best at it. I'm really not. And I think it's just more because I'm just one of those people. It's like, if you don't like me, well, then that's a you thing.
But Bridget, you got there by way of what?
So my
because you are really good at that. You don't take things personally. You are able to kind of roll with the punches. And that's an area where I'm like, oh my gosh, they don't like me. What did I do wrong? It's a reflection of myself, which that's a you thing. You're right.
It is. I think it comes with confidence. I think it comes with just instilling that confidence that you're enough. You're enough. And,
Thank you.
You're enough, Christina, and I love you. Thank you. And some people are going to like you and some people aren't. And don't force yourself on people if they don't value who you are. Be genuine, regardless of what you do, be genuine and be kind.
Yeah.
And, it's
kindness.
My husband and I were just like, well, you might hate me, but I'm going to kill you with kindness.
Yeah.
I don't feel that a whole lot of people have a gray area for me. You either like me or you don't. It's not like, she's okay. Let me get to know her.
Different.
No, you either like me or you don't.
Do people not like you? Have you met somebody who doesn't like you?
Oh, I'm sure.
I've never heard anyone say a bad thing about you.
Ask my ex-husband and his whole family.
Okay, well,
there's a group of people here.
That's low-hanging fruit there. But even in the working with you for 10 years, I think there's very few people that I could say that didn't get talked about, because there were so many, and I would just sit there and like, oh, wow, you really hate that person. You're very likable. Move on. Enough of you.
Move on. But I think that is something that, we're still learning as adults, and it's even harder for our kids in this society of everything you do is monitored. Everything you do, somebody's taking a video in class, somebody's taking a photo of it, somebody's, editing their photo, and that peer pressure is unreal. It's unreal. And I think just letting your kids know that, you are enough and you will find your people, and, put yourself out there, be confident in what you do and what you bring. And at the end of the day, just be a kind human.
Well, you just hit bullet point number 2, teaching empathy and boundaries. And I think that if we can teach our kids their own limits, because the stakes are so freaking high right now, and the consequences are so huge making one little mistake. And I'm talking cell phones and photos and bullying, one mistake, one dumb decision, one caving into peer pressure can impact you in such a huge way. It's scary.
Yeah.
It's really scary.
Is. And a lot of these transitions, like when you think of, all right, some of these kiddos that are going into their freshman year, maybe they haven't had social media, in middle school, make sure that you're teaching them social media etiquette, and that, everything that you see is not what it is.
We should do a refresh on social media etiquette.
And a lot of these kiddos that are going into middle school are getting a phone for the first time. Lock it down. Lock it down, parents.
Yes.
Lock it down.
Lock it down. Man, it's scary. Okay. Next bullet point, reinforcing quality over quantity with friendships. Right? You don't have to have 30 friends, but having a few really good ones.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. What do you do with that? But it again, going back to social media, you can have 1,200 followers, but you only have 5 friends, or 2 friends. But those are your genuine people.
Yeah. And that's important.
That's important.
Quality over quantity. All right. And then having these open-ended conversations where it's not, how do we teach our kids social skills? And it's so funny because I was recently watching, so one of my stepdaughters, her friend came with us to the mountains, and it was so funny just watching the two of them and how they interact and how they would sit side by side and both just be on their phones. And I'm staring at them like they're wild animals. And I go, you guys are sitting next to each other. Don't you want to talk to each other? Like, no.
We're sending each other videos.
Yes, which they are. And it is fascinating. It's fascinating the what kids are doing with each other, just sitting side by side, texting each other.
I'll send you videos all day long, but we won't have an actual in-person conversation.
Right. So how do we teach I mean, that's so lacking. These conversational
the Wall-E
skills.
generation.
What's that?
Wall-E?
Yeah.
The cartoon, where it's like set in the future and like everybody's in the chairs and they don't walk.
Oh, okay. I don't know about this.
You've not seen Wall-E?
No. Is this a Pixar movie?
Yes.
Okay.
Disney,
or
Pixar, one
like
of
that.
those.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I guess I'll have to put that on the list.
I don't know which one of those.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's like set in the future. Everybody's super lazy and overweight and AI's taken over. And
wait, that's not right now.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. This is the Wall-E generation.
Okay.
And, they just watch TV all day long. They don't have human interaction.
Yeah.
They don't walk from one place to another. They just take their little Segway. They don't move from the Segway.
I mean, that sounds kind of fun.
I don't know how they do the bio breaks, but
there's a way. Where there's a will, there's a way.
There's a way. There's a way.
Oh my gosh! All right, so we gotta work on all of that, and I think a big part of that, and I think most parents have heard this by now. When you pick up your kid, how was your day? Stupid. What'd you learn? Nothing. Right? Yeah. Asking different questions. Who did you sit with at lunch today? What was the best part of your day? I tell my kid this in the morning. I go, be ready, because when I pick you up, I'm going to ask you, what was the best part of your day? What was the worst part of your day? What's something you did for someone else? Or did you make anybody smile today? Or did anyone make you smile today? So making them be aware. And I think that ties back.
Ask some fun questions.
Yeah. Do you have?
Who made you laugh?
Who made you laugh?
What was the funniest thing you saw today?
Yeah.
Or, did you make a new friend? Or, was there something that the teacher said that just really caught your ear and you're like, oh, wow, that really interested me.
Mm-hmm.
That was really great.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, it's parents, give yourself some grace. Coming back from summer is rough. It takes, a couple weeks to get back into the routine of, oh yeah, I should meal prep. Throw a roast in on Sunday night so you can do tacos on Monday or Taco Tuesday. There you go. You could do some pulled pork sandwiches on Monday. You've got a couple of meals in the queue. One of the things that I think was a differentiator for me when the kids were little is we are like, go, 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 go. There's only a certain amount of time once you get them home to bathe, to get their homework done, to get dinner in, to, do the sports, do all these things. And you're limited on time after school. And I think one of the biggest things that I learned was, don't force your kids to do their homework as soon as they get home. That is, they have spent the last 8 hours with a pencil and paper, listening and doing homework. When you get home, obviously, this is a choice we made. We're adults. We have children. You get home and it's a different type of work. Mm-hmm. But if you had to get home and log back on your computer and start doing another 2 hours worth of work after you've just spent an 8-hour day, that's grueling, and it doesn't allow for creativity. It doesn't enable you to just kind of relax. So give your kids like an hour. Give them, let them have their snack. Let them watch a show. Let them just decompress from school. And then it will not be as much of a fight to sit down and do their homework with them.
Okay.
That was a huge one for me.
Okay. That works for you. I know some kids are, some of my friends were saying, oh yeah, my kid will come home and right away do his homework.
If you have those children, amen.
I know.
How'd you do that?
How
did that happen?
I feel like it's the next morning and my kid's like, whoops, I was supposed to do this. I'm like, his teacher last year did not assign homework. So there was no habits, routines, which I get on one side. You do spend all day in school. So why do you have to come home and do it? I'm like, well, because then if you know the information or not. I think it's a little helpful.
A lot of teachers are doing that now. Like my son, his senior year, he had quite a few of his teachers that were like, no, we don't do homework. We're not going to give you a grueling amount of homework. this is stuff you should be learning in class, and I want you to learn good habits versus, you learning bad habits. It's at home, doing these complex assignments. Like I want to be here to help you. So we're going to have this much lesson time and then this much of you doing it on your own.
Yeah.
Which I thought was awesome.
That is.
I loved it.
Well, let's jump into sports then, because this is, I think, there was some incredible fact where American families are spending $2 billion a year on sports related activities. So the club sports, the intramural sports, whatever it is, the sports industry is huge. We all know this. This is such a duh statement. But how are we, as our kids are aging, how are we teaching them healthy relationships with sports and managing their time and effort and enthusiasm really for all of this? I wanted to force my kid to do a couple of sports at middle school, but he wasn't interested in cross country or tennis. And so he's going to be in baseball. So I'm not worried about it, but I think exposing them to everything is just good for them. But then it also goes back where I am a person who packs way too much into the day. And so I like keeping my kid busy. I don't want him sitting around the house wanting to play video games. I want him out doing stuff. So, but there's a balance between that. So how do we make sure that that we're focusing on the effort versus the outcome? You didn't win the game. That's okay. But did you try hard?
I would say not just sports. Yes, thousands and millions and billions of dollars are going into these youth sports and clubs and all of that stuff. But I think just extracurricular activities, period. Mm-hmm. Whether, maybe your kid, has 2 left feet and sports are just not their thing. They're just not their thing.
Yeah.
But what is, help them find their thing.
Yeah.
Whether that's arts, whether that's, music, whether that's, whatever it may be that is of interest. And it could be karate, it could be boxing, it could be going to the gym, it could be, taking piano lessons, mm-hmm. It could be pottery, it can be any of these things, but you're giving them an outlet other than just being at school 8 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
But to your point, how do you balance that time? How do you make sure that they're putting in the effort? Like our thing was, if you're going to start something, you can't quit it. You got to see it through to the end.
Mm-hmm.
That is just, it's not fair to everybody else.
Yeah.
Now, there could be certain circumstances where I'm going to pull you out of it,
mm-hmm.
but, try.
I did that for the first time this year.
Yeah.
My kid, I was sure to say, this is not you quitting. I'm pulling you from this team because your coach is an absolute psychopath.
Yeah, that can happen.
Yeah.
If it's not good for their mental health, pull them out.
If you're not learning from a person who can be respected or even act respectable, and that was a tricky one. But
well, you and I are both athletes. Like,
mm-hmm.
If you're an athlete, you have a different perspective on it. It's a team sport. So you learn how to be part of a team.
Mm-hmm.
You learn how to collaborate. You learn how to work with others. You learn how to lose.
Mm-hmm.
And you learn how to be humbled when you think, when your britches are too big, and you guys are going in, we're going to crush it, we're going to win. And you get your butt kicked.
Yep.
It's a humbling experience. But, if you're a competitive person, these are things that you learn from. But again, to your point, it's managing your time, managing your schedule. Hey, parents, if you work an 8 to 5 and you have 5 kids and they're all in club sports,
good luck.
I pray for you and hire an Uber driver.
Yes, no kidding.
Divide and conquer.
Well, and that's, the parenting, coaching from the sideline. So that fine balance between supporting but not being overbearing, or the parent who is screaming at their kid from the bleachers about whatever they screwed up. And, and that's, you would think that, oh my gosh, these are 8-year-olds playing. It's calm down, lady.
Every club parent thinks that their kid is the next professional athlete. It's true. I mean,
yeah.
you're paying, $1,200 a year And the coaches are like, guess what? If we win this tournament, we get to go to Utah, and it's only a 15-hour drive.
Oh,
and that's in 5 days.
Yep.
And if we win that one, guess what? We get to go to Connecticut for the nationals. You're like,
no.
Oh my God.
No.
I have a job.
Yeah.
I have 5 other kids.
Yep.
How is this going to happen?
Ugh, no, thank you. So those conversations are really important to kind of keep your kids level-headed. So I feel like we set up a few, this was really helpful for me today because I really need to put some of this in practice. But I feel excited. I feel like the beginning of school years is a fresh start for everyone, for your entire household. You can really get back on track. You can get organized and lay out the path for the first semester or the first quarter, whatever, to just be ready and show up with your best selves and get back on it.
And I think one thing to be cognizant of and to just put in the back of your head, parents, is connection beats perfection.
I like that.
Your kids aren't going to remember the Pinterest lunch that you put together. They're going to remember the time that you had with them.
That's going to be our tag for today. Connection beats perfection.
All right. Mic drop.
Mic drop. All right. So that's it for our show today.
That's it.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Backseat Thrivers.
That's right. We will be here for you now. We will not be leaving you. So be sure to tune in next week. We've got another exciting topic.
We don't know what it is yet.
We don't know what it is yet, but we will soon. So stay with us.
Stay tuned.
Yeah. All right. So everybody knows how to find us. Thank you, LTD Media. Be sure that you're following at ltd.media.
And make sure you're following us at Backseat Thriver. We're on all the social medias. You want to learn a little bit about Christina and I, who we are, what we do. You just want to download a photo for your phone.
All right, we're
you
getting
can find
weird
us
now.
at backseatthriver.com.